Thank you. Senator Kane. Senator Kane. All right. Senator Larson. Senator Larson.
On Zoom.
Senator Woldekaiden. Senator Woldekaiden.
Present.
Thank you. Did I say that right?
No, it's what the.
I don't seem to have
What
it
the-
here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Figure it out.
Senator Dermenji.
Here.
Did I say that right?
Yep.
Okay. Senator Wynn.
Yeah.
Senator Victor Wynn.
Yeah.
Senator Roberts.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Abera. Senator Abera.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Hune.
Here.
Senator Nirala.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Nirola.
Nirola. Thank you. Okay. Senator Al Harvey.
Here.
How do you
Yes, that was good.
Thank you. Senator Dustin.
Yeah.
Senator Atmaker. Senator Atmaker.
On Zoom.
All right. Senator Mendez Martinez.
Here.
Senator Hawk.
Here.
Senator Maltari. Senator Mesta.
Here.
Senator Osman.
That's me.
Senator Parikh.
Here.
Did I say that right?
Nope.
Oh,
It's funny.
okay. All right. Senator Siki. Or Seth.
Here.
Thank you. Senator Blanchard.
Here.
Senator Hansen.
Here.
Senator Jha. JHA.
Here.
Senator Novak.
Howdy.
Senator Royger. Here. Thank you. All right. Speaker is me for 40 minutes. President Zelmer.
Here.
Vice President Ibrahim.
Here.
All right. Moving on to our next call of order is swearing in of new senators. So we did swear in some senators at last week's inauguration, but if you are not there, will you please stand at this moment? If you were not at inauguration last week. Thank you. All right, I need for you to raise your right hand. All right, so say I, state your name,
I, Mej,
Messed up.
will represent and serve
will represent and serve
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
the student of the University of Mankato
in student life and academic needs,
in student life and academic needs,
and will uphold the mission,
and will uphold the mission,
Constitution,
Constitution,
and bylaws
and bylaws
of the student government.
of the student government.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
Congratulations. All right. Next order of business, our first and only presentation will be by President Zelmer.
Hi everyone, so I was planning on making a PowerPoint and then I had a paper to write, so I didn't make a PowerPoint, so bear with me. I just wanted to go, okay. I just wanted to go over some quick things just as we kind of start the year. We'll go over this all in more detail at the start of the fall. We only have this meeting this year, and then we'll see you all the first week of the school year, Wednesday, 4 p.m. in this room when we will reconvene. However, I did want to just go through a few things to help answer some of the questions you all might have, as well as feel free to reach out if you have any other questions beyond that. So the first thing I wanted to talk about that I want you all to keep in mind this year is professionalism. We are the student government. Even if you aren't in this room, you are representing all of the students who are in your constituency, as well as the student government as a body. In order for us to be respected by not only administration, but also our fellow students and the different organizations on campus, we need to keep a level of professionalism that is above drama, that is above gossip, that's above bringing gossip and drama to this table. So please make sure that you all are very professional this year, not only when at this table, but also outside. This is not high school student council where we're debating the prom topic, we're debating real issues that matter to students, and we want to make sure that we treat all those issues and all of our students and each other with respect at all times. We're all adults, make sure that we're all being very professional. Moving on from that, your role as a senator. So there's a few things we wanted to go over. So as a senator, you are required to be here in this room every Wednesday at 4 p.m. starting in fall semester. That is the set start times by the Constitution. So if you have a class, please talk to me. See if you can reschedule that when that class is. Otherwise, we will have to have a conversation about how we can make things work. Also, you are required to serve on 2 committees. The first one will be either academic or student affairs. Academic affairs is for academic senators, so if you're the College of Business senator, College of Science, Technology, and Engineering, which I always say out of order, you will be on the Academic Affairs Committee, and if you are not an academic senator, you will be on the Student Affairs Committee. These meet at 3 p.m. per the Constitution, and you will hear more about what rooms those will be meeting in starting at the fall. So really make sure you are blocked off from 3 p.m. on for these meetings because sometimes we might run late. I'm hoping we won't start running late until budget season, but there's no promises what will come up throughout the year. And then also you are required to do one other committee. The application process for those will open up in the fall, so you'll submit an application for which committees you want to serve on, and then myself and Vice President Iberman, we will appoint you to those committees, and then you all will approve them on the Senate agendas starting in fall. You are also required to have 6 office hours every 2 weeks, so that's, if you average it out, about 3 a week, and you are required to have at least one of those each week declared. So that will be posted publicly. You'll be in the same location at the same time for that hour per week to make sure that you are available to your constituents. Those can either be in the student government office or, like, let's say you're a residential life senator and you want to hang out in the lobby of a res hall and have that be your declared hour. That's great, but we need to make sure we're doing those. And then your other office hours are spent working on a project you want to work on. And I'll talk a little bit more about projects in a bit. We are also, this is something we did a couple years ago. It's called Town Hall Tuesday, and I'm working on tracking down this big rolling chalk box that we used to have. I don't know where they put it, but I'll find it. We've got it? Cool. Yeah. So we are going to have a tabling time in the CSU every Tuesday, and you won't be required to work every one, you won't be required to work the whole time. But we're going to have a rotating schedule of who's going to be there. That way we can interact with more students, because not every student's going to look up when are our student government senator office hours and where can I meet them. However, they might be walking through the main hallway of the CSU, so that we're hoping to be able to meet with more students then, hear about what they want, and then we'll put anything they write on the chalkboard will be sitting in the student government office for that week for you all to think about with projects. So that'll also count as hours, as well as, let's say we're sponsoring an event. If you go to that event, it's an hour. Or if you are working on your project, meeting with a dean, meeting with Mark, meeting with David, those would count as office hours as well. And you will be reporting those every 2 weeks to the speaker. If you don't do those, that is a means to be sent to ethics and standards because it is in your job description. So for senator projects, we're hoping to create some sort of document this year, working on what the format will be. It'll be ready to go by fall, of what project you're working on. So that way, the entire Senate knows. That way you can group up, let's say, that I want to be working on, if I was a senator, I wanted to be working on getting menstrual products in every bathroom. And someone else wanted to work on that with me, we could work in a group for that and be able to do that project together. And then we can post updates in this document. But you will also be required to give, in your job description, 2 senator reports per semester. So this is when you'd come up here and talk about what you've been doing on your project, where it's going, if you need any Senate support, you're looking for any feedback. But it is expected that you're giving updates on your projects, not just saying, oh, this is my project, end of senator report. You need to make sure you're actually working on it over time. And we'll have a schedule for that you all will sign up for. And then, yeah, we'll have some sort of spreadsheet for that, just so then it's easier to keep track of what all we're doing, what everyone else is working on. So if you finished your project, you can hop on someone else's or start your own. We will also, so an example of a student life project that's happened in the past is Swipe Out Hunger. So now unused meal swipes are donated, so students who are food insecure are able to go to the student activities office and be able to get meal swipes that they're able to use for free. An example of an academic program, this was my freshman year when I was on Senate, so bear with me as I try to remember this. So a senator was working on the printing, so now that you're able to like go in and log in online, that is something new that you don't have to be on like university computers, and that was something that student senators worked on with administration in order to make happen, as well as the bird scooters were a students' government initiative, among other things. So if you have a question about what you think a project might be, or if you want to talk one over with us, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to do that. We're also looking forward to, we're gonna try to like change things up a little bit and see how we can get more engaged on campus to make sure that we're really representing all the students on campus. So student life senators might be, wanting to be a liaison with a student organization, or academic senators, you should be meeting with your dean monthly. So we'll be coming back to you all in the fall with what this layout kind of looks like, and then we can all discuss it as a Senate and see how we can move forward on it. So here's what you can expect from myself and your vice president. We're really here for support. If you are hitting a roadblock on your project, let's say someone's not responding to your email, let's say you don't know where to go next, you've hit a roadblock and you want our help getting over it, you can come to us and we will make sure that we can support your project. If you want to bring a resolution to Senate, but you don't really know either how to write it, what you want it to look like, or how to best get it into motion, come to us. We can help you get that rolling. Inman has a lot of experience in all the departments on campus, and I've been engaged in student leadership for the past 4 years. So we know how to overcome these roadblocks and think about things in a different light. So please make sure to use us as a resource, as well as our advisor Emmy, and John might be coming back in the fall as well. So make sure you really reach out to us and we can figure out how to make sure our projects actually get done, because too many projects just slip under the rug once you're no longer on student government. We're also here for you, so we will have our declared office hours, so you will know when we're in the office. We are also going to set aside 3 hours a week when we will be in the office specifically for you all to come in and say, this is a time where they don't have a meeting or they aren't planning something else, and I'm able to go in and meet with them. So it'll be like declared drop-in hours, and then we'll also be telling you when we will be in the office. Knowing how at least I personally work, I'll probably be in the office like all the time, so you can just like drop by, and if we're not there, send us a text. But we're hoping to have the office door open all the time for y'all to drop in, hang out. Back like before COVID, we used to just spend all of our time in there. We'd sit around not talking about student government stuff, so I'd really love if we could all hang out together in the student government office. And then, yeah, at least 3 per week will hopefully be drop-ins. We'll let you know if any of this changes. Also, another thing that we want to talk about this year is transparency. Not only do we need to be transparent with our student, with the student body on what we're working on, so maybe we'll start doing like reports where we'll go to the reporter and be like, this is what we've worked on this month, and then like an end of semester report so they know what we're working on, how to get in contact with us. But also we expect transparency among all of you, within each other, with us. So let's say like the commitments I sent out today, if you absolutely hated them, which we also expect you to come to us and let us know what you're working on, I would hope that you would come to us and talk with us ahead of time. That way we can try to find a middle ground prior to having to come hash it out at the table. We think this will help keep down drama. We think this will help keep down any gossip. Also, make sure you tell how you really feel about things. We don't want people regretting their decisions later on. Your job is to speak on behalf of your students. So make sure that you do stand up for yourself, and also we aren't taking personal hits at the student government table, and understand if someone disagrees with your motion, it's not personal, they just don't disagree with your motion. And also making sure we have conversations outside of here. And something we also want to talk about is be transparent about what you're working on and what you're actually able to commit to. Something that we've always said in the past was under-commit and over-deliver. Don't say you're going to work on 5 different projects if you don't have the capacity to work on 5 different projects. If you only have the capacity to work on one, say this is my project, this is what I'm doing, and be very transparent about, if you need a day off, if you just weren't able to make your office hours due to mental health reasons, or you just needed a break, you're overburdened with homework or tests, you need to talk with us about that ahead of time so we can work with you, because we really want to work as a team at this table. Also, I wanted to go over how the agenda works, just so we can all get through at least the rest of this meeting smoothly. So presentations, people will come to us with presentations ahead of time, and we'll add them to the agenda. So these are normally, maybe we'll come and give a presentation. Anything that is going to be required of you all that you have to hear from us, we'll make sure to do it during student government time, rather than saying, oh, after the meeting we'll all chat. We want it to all be transparent in these meetings, and you all have already delegated this time to us, so we want to be responsible with your time. Open forum, that's where any student can come in and chat, tell us what their thoughts are. If they want to yell at us, we're going to sit here and get yelled at by them, because we represent the students and we want to hear from every student. Open forums also if admin want to drop in and say a few words, different departments, anything like that. The consent agenda, that is where a lot of things such as appointments. So when I'm appointing you all to committees or other students, you'll see your names listed under that. Recognized student organizations, we're going to have some 4-page agendas at the start of the year, because we're going to need to approve all of the RSOs on campus. So those names all get listed there, and they're sent to us from that department. Commission of Ethics and Standards, if your name is here, unless it says committee appointment, you're being sent to Ethics and Standards. You'll be, I'll let you know ahead of time, or the speaker will, this will be the speaker's job. Let you know ahead of time what you're getting sent to Ethics and Standards for. No one will be sent there over the summer, so we're not going to go in depth on that. And then removal of committee members. If a committee member just ghosts us, we're able to remove them now. Student Allocation Committee is really the big one. So we have our Student Allocations Committee, which we'll be appointing people to in the fall. And if an RSO needs a trip help funding a trip, or help funding anything else, they go to SAC, and then SAC is able to approve a recommendation for a one-time funding. So it would be $700 per 45 students for this thing doing this. SAC looks over all of that, has in-depth conversations, so very rarely would we ever pull anything out, if ever, until the budget meeting when they give us their budget proposal. But all that's in the consent agenda, we typically just say, is there any dissent to the consent agenda? You look it over. If you disagree with something, hopefully you looked at the agenda when it got sent out at noon on Tuesday, so we could talk about it and see what needs to be done. Otherwise, you just say, I dissent. We ask why. You explain what you want to pull out. Approving the consent agenda also approves the rest of the agenda. So let's say we do expect motions to be added to the agenda before we send out the agenda Tuesday at noon. Let's say there's something very last minute that we need to bring up, a resolution to support changing the carpet in this room, which wouldn't happen, but we would be able to bring that up, see if people wanted to add it to the agenda, and then we'd be able to add it to the agenda there. However, like I said, we expect you all to let us know if you want something on the agenda by Tuesday morning. That way we can get it out to all the senators, they're able to ask questions and have discussion on it. And that's part of the transparency thing, of we aren't blindsiding anyone at meetings. Senator or officer reports is when the 3 officers, the president, vice president, and speaker will all give updates on what we're doing, anything else you all need to know. And then senator reports, that's when you all will be giving your reports, so we'll sign up for dates at the start of the semester, and then when you're on the agenda, you'll come in and give your report, which is just a little speech. Vacancies, those are vacancy elections. President Stiff will be going, or former President Stiff will be going over those in a bit, because today we will have our first vacancy election, which will be for the speaker. And then we vote on those and have discussions. With vacancies, I want you all to know that we expect this to be treated like a hiring procedure, which means that we are going to comply with all the state and federal non-discrimination laws, making sure we're leaving drama out of the conversation and really focusing on what people said during their speech part. And we'll go over, I'm going to have someone come in and give us hiring training at the start of the year, so then we can put that on our resumes too. And then new business. As you see here, the commitments resolution is under new business right now. So typically motions go through a 2-week process. You come in, do a first reading at 1, we have discussion, people are able to take it back, and then we have the second reading, which would be placed under old business. So these are resolutions we want to discuss, have more conversation at the table. Also, if we just wanted to, like, let's say the Vice President of Student Affairs came to myself and Inbin and said, hey, we have a question. What does the student government think about the wallpaper? Again, it'll be serious things, but this is what's coming to mind right now. We want to have a conversation about what students think about the wallpaper. I might put it on under new business and just say, hey, we're looking for what your all's thoughts are. We don't need to pass anything, but we want to have a discussion that is recorded for students to see later on. We'll have it at this table to be able to have conversation about it. Also, this is what we will be doing with this resolution today. After we discuss, like, let's say, like, this is a very last second thing, and since we aren't meeting until fall, we're hoping to get something passed today rather than later on. So you can always motion to suspend the rules to vote on the resolution today. So that takes one person to motion, one person to second. We can have a conversation about whether or not we want to do that, and then we'll vote on whether or not to move it to today. So someone will be proposing that motion today. And then announcements. Let's say you're a part of like Greek Life and you're like, hey, we're having this great event next week. We want you all to come. People can come in and give announcements, or else if you all are having events you want to promote, you're able to give an announcement then. And then we have roll call, which is the same as we just did, and then we adjourn. Are there any questions about the agenda? Cool. Okay, and if you all are ever like, I have no clue what's going on, just like raise your hand and we'll pause and make sure everyone's on the same page with what's going on. And then Robert's rules, so it'll be up to the incoming speaker to decide how strict of Robert's rules they want. We'll give a whole presentation next semester in the fall to make sure everyone's up to date on it, and we'll walk through any incoming vacancy senators behind the scenes so then everyone's up to date. However, the biggest thing for today is speaking order. So you'll raise your hand to get on the speaking list. Since we don't have placards yet, you'll raise your hand. Former President Stiff will like write down your name and you'll speak in that order. So wait until you are called on. This isn't a free-for-all where you can just talk over the speaker, you can talk over other people. Not accepted here. We need to be very professional. That's why you wait until you're called on to speak. And if you've been missed, just raise your hand again, or normally you'll like set up your placard and it'll stand up that way so we can see. And everyone will be able to speak, so no worries. General motions, you might want a point of clarification, which is where you can ask a question about what's going on. Or else like motions, like a resolution we're doing today, or like the motion to move forward. At least for today, the speaker will let you know later on, but if you don't know what the name of a motion is, just say what you're trying to do, and we'll help you. We want to make sure everyone can has equitable access to participate in these. So if you don't know the exact name of the motion, don't worry, we'll figure it out together. And then, yeah, we'll chat more soon. What to expect over summer. So take out something to take a note on for this, please. We are hoping to do a student government retreat. We used to do these back pre-COVID. I'm hoping to bring it back because it's not only a great team bonding thing, we also get caught up on a lot of things before we start the school year. So we're hoping to go at the same time as all the other student activities areas, so that way we can get to know more students, chat, hang out, and learn more. And it will be August 15th and 16th, and it will be at Camp Patterson, which isn't far from here. To people who are going to be community advisors, I know it's overtraining. We'll plan something after your training ends. I was a community advisor and had to miss like part of the retreat, but we'll make sure there's a time where you're able to join. And Camp Patterson isn't far from here, but we'll arrange cars and everything. Me and Edie aren't paid over the summer, so we will be working when we're able to. We will both be in Mankato. I'll be in the admissions office, so I'm planning on working quite a bit. However, if you email me and I don't get back right away, I'm not paid yet to do this job, so please like give me some slack. It's also summer. I might be doing something outside, or I don't know, doing something, hopefully. So reach out to us via email. What I want you also to like look at your email. If we get like an urgent request from administration of like, hey, we're making this decision, we need to know what you think. Let's say me and Edie just say, yep, we think everyone will be on board. We'll send out an email to let you know. Or else if we have like a week's time, we'll send out an email and say, hey, is everyone on board for this? And you can respond yes or no. That way if there's like an overwhelming amount of no's, we can share that. So we want to make sure that we're representing all of you. We aren't going to be a president and vice president who just like speak on behalf of everyone without asking questions first. So we'll make sure to bring everything to all of you. Let's say I support something that all of you hate. The student government hates it, and we're going to move forward like that. And that's how you can expect us to speak on behalf of you all like that if we're the only ones in a meeting. So just keep an eye on your emails. I'm hoping to send out a monthly update, but again, that's not a promise. That's like I hope to do this. So if you don't get a monthly update, you can text me if you want to know what's been going on. And I was going to give you a motivational quote. I don't have one, but just a reminder that we're here to make the future of this university better. We're here to make sure that the 100th student government 10 years from now has easier decisions than we have today, and we're here to represent students professionally and represent them well. So just keep that in mind as you are going through your term, but we're excited to work with you all. Does anyone have any questions for me? I know that was a lot of just rambling without a presentation.
Any questions for President Zelmer? If so, you can just raise your hand.
Emmy has something.
Oh, I just have a couple things to add. Hello, folks. I'm the advisor, hiding back here. When President Zelmer was talking about transparency and working through resolutions ahead of time, one of the other big advantages to that is it makes the meetings run really smoothly because everyone knows what to expect. Along those lines, as you're working on resolutions, if you have questions about like, is there something in place for the university already for this? Or like, how would this happen procedurally? Hello, I'm your advisor. I've been here for 4 years. And John, who will be coming back over the summer, who's currently on sabbatical, and he was in Prague, I think, yesterday. He's living the best life. John will be back in the fall, and he has legitimately like 15 years of experience. There's a wealth of information to pull from. We do work over the summer, so if you have something urgent, please feel free to reach out to us. And we're also just super excited to be working with y'all too. And then just kind of one other thing, as you're thinking about the upcoming year and projects and things that you'd like to work on, there are, like, you will have access to a Teams folder document. I'm pointing at my computer, it's in the collective void of the internet. But that does list what folks have done in the past, and you'll be getting transition reports from previous senators. So you can pick up things that have been done, or you can take on something completely new. If you see something that didn't get finished, we can chat about maybe what roadblocks were encountered in the past. We can figure out a best path forward for that. So just know we're here. We're happy to help. So yeah.
Any other questions for for President Zelmer?
One other quick note. Myself and Edie have like more meetings with administration than any of you have for office hours. So if you do want to work on something new, I've also worked with the system office for the past 2 years. So we have like a wealth of knowledge of what roadblocks have been hit before. Has this project been tried? Is this a system level issue, not a university issue? So please make sure you chat with us, because I know I was the senator that came in freshman year like, oh, I'm just going to like go through on this project, and then I found out 2 months in that it had already been a thing. So make sure you like ask questions, and we can make sure that your projects go smoothly. So that way you all have a great year and a legacy to leave.
Sounds good. Thank you. All right, moving on to our next order of business. As President Zelmer explained, open forum is just a time for the public, for the audience. Any of you, if you have something that you would like to speak on publicly and have that on record, open forum is the way to do that. So I'm going to ask, is anyone today here for open forum? Max, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. For those of you who don't know, I'm Max. I'm the editor-in-chief of the campus newspaper for like 6 more hours. After that, I'm passing the reins on to Julia. She'll be the editor-in-chief of the newspaper all next year. So if you ever have anything cool you're doing, anything important that you want to touch on, or if you want to write a letter to the editor complaining about President Zelmer, maybe, I don't know. You can just bring that to, you just come into our office. We're literally just down the hall from you all. So just come swing by, chat with her, and yeah, if you want to say anything too.
I was going to say whatever he just said, but yeah, hi, I'm Julia. I'll be around all summer and next year, so yeah, stop in, say hi.
All right, any questions for Julia or Max? Any questions? Any questions? No questions? Thank you both.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else here for open forum? Mark, go ahead.
Hello folks, how you doing? My name is Mark Constantine. I'm the Director of the Student Union and Student Activities, and I'd just like to take a second to welcome you here to the meeting today. I know some of the senators that were here in the past, but we have a lot of new people. Just wanted to welcome you to the group. I'm sorry you had to hear at the beginning about my haircut. Somebody heard a little conversation about that along the way. I am dressed down a little bit today. We had Mall Fest outside, and I was helping some of our team out there partake in that a little bit, so I apologize for being a little more casual today. But on behalf of the Student Union and Student Activities, I just want to make sure you all know that we consider the Student Union your home away from home. A lot of the most important things on campus happen in the Student Union, as a lot of you know. A lot of the big meetings, special events, our Caring International events, multicultural, a lot of special events. The university departments use this building a lot too, so we take a lot of great pride. But more than anything, I want to say to you, this is your building. And I attend all the meetings typically. I'm not your advisor per se, but I want to make sure you all know that we're here. Not only me, but Emmy's part of the team as well, and all of our folks in Student Activities in the Union, to make this the best possible experience that you can have. There's no question too large or too small that I wouldn't be willing to tackle. My office is almost always open, my door is, unless I'm working with some students at the time. So just want to make sure you all realize that it's really important that you know from me and my staff that we care about what the student government does. We want you to be successful, and we want to be part of the success if you need any help or any assistance. I've learned one thing from President Zelmer already, that she doesn't like the carpet or the wall coverings in this building from her presentation and using some examples. So I'm going to have to go ahead and take that in consideration as we look to things to do. I will say one thing about this room: we're all getting new chairs in here. The chairs have been beat up a little bit. Some of them go up and down. They don't always go back up. So we have that in order. We're actually looking to make an order for this room right now. So don't really have any more to add to that other than new folks, we welcome you here. You've got an important role for the university, for the campus. The administration is not the bad guy. We really sincerely want to be part of the solution for everything that you do along the way, I think. And it's easy for me to sit here and say that, but you only learn that by working with people, hopefully like myself, Vice President Jones, John, who will be back as your advisor, and many, many other people along the way here that do attend meetings too. So please give people a chance, work with them, be upfront and honest. Your president said a lot of great things. Transparency is really, really important, and I think it'll be a two-way street from everybody along the way. So welcome, glad to have you here. We hope you have a great summer. For those of you that are going to be in town, stop by and say hello. Those that aren't, good luck in work and internships and those type of things, and I'll stand for questions. Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Mark? President Zelmer.
I meant no shades to the carpet or wallpaper. I apologize.
She was looking for some nice examples. I just figured that you'll find me in some ways as well. I try to put some levity to the situation typically when I talk to students, and I think it's really important work you do, but I think it's important too that we don't take ourselves too seriously all the time as well. And so you'll hear me sometimes, I think, be the lighter side of some things off and on. And thus, she gave me the perfect example to be on the lighter side.
Beautiful. Senator Bassnet.
Well, I just want to say that thank you so much for always supporting and then working with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Seeing no questions, thank you, Mark. Is there anyone else here for open forum today? Anyone here for open forum? Seeing no one else here.
This is from the Zoom.
Sorry, go ahead, Kellyanne.
No, that's fine. I'm Kellyanne, and I just want to say congratulations to everybody and welcome. And I am a librarian. I'm here like throughout the summer. If anybody wants to get a head start on their project, I support anything you do as long as it's evidence-based, because I'm a librarian. So welcome to a new year, and please look me up, stop by, get in contact, love to help you out.
Sounds good. Do we have any questions for Kellyanne? Senator Roberts.
I just really wanted to thank you, Kellyanne, just this past week sent me some really wonderful resources for a project I plan to continue working on over the summer in terms of graduate student orientation, so I just really wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments for Kellyanne? I have one. Kellyanne, I have some overdue book fees. I have to come talk to you because I'm graduating soon. I cannot pay that, but I will talk to you soon. All right. I think that's it for open forum. If there's anyone, oh, sorry.
I just motion to acknowledge the raised hand and the Zoom.
Dean Rutherford, would you like to speak?
Yes, I just want to say that I'm your Dean of the Day, and for the last 10 years have thoroughly enjoyed being able to represent the academic affairs as Dean of the Day. I don't know if you know, but number one, I'm a proud alumna of MSU Mankato. I got to be keynote speaker last Friday night at the honors convocation because I was part of the first honors program. But also to say that I'm retiring this summer, and it has been my distinct pleasure to see this group work so effectively. And I love the combination of passion for your work, but also levity, that you enjoy what you're doing and get along. So I wish you the very best, and I'm excited to be passing the torch on to some other Dean of the College of Allied Health and Nursing who will serve twice a year as Dean of the Day. So thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Dean Rutherford? See, we have something. Oh, we have something from Emmy. She said, "Thank you, Dean Rutherford, for all your hard work and enjoy your retirement." Let's give a round of applause to Dean Rutherford. Thank you for all your work. All right. Anyone else for open forum? I don't think we have anyone. Oh, go ahead.
Hi everyone, this is on work from IT Solutions and Broadcasting. I congratulate all of you for the new student government, and we'll be here with you along all the period. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anyone else for open forum? Anyone else for open forum? All right, seeing no one else for open forum, we're going to move on to the approval of the consent agenda. As President Zelmer stated, this is usually very non-controversial, and the usual appropriate vote would just be yes, because this has been combed through by SAC, by student government, leadership, and some others. And so, I'm going to ask, is there any dissent to the approval of the consent agenda? And if none of you dissent, then we'll approve it unanimously. So, is there any dissent to the approval of the consent agenda today? Seeing no dissent, the approval of the consent agenda is passed. Next, we're going to move on to officer reports. First, President Zelmer.
So as I stated, I'll be around campus this summer if you all need anything. I'll send out like an end of year email, or we will, with like our phone numbers and other things. I'll be up all night, so you can just text me whenever, but if I don't respond right away, give me some grace, please. I also will be finishing up. I'll be still kind of busy. My term as state chair of Students United ends at the end of June. So excited for that. And then I'll be able to commit all of my time to this. Other than that, I use she, her pronouns. And I am excited to get to know all of you this summer. Yeah.
All right. Do we have any questions for President Zelmer? Do you have a question? Oh, sorry. I thought your placard was up. That's going to be your computer. Oh, my bad. Does anyone else have any questions for President Zelmer? Questions? Any questions? All right. Seeing no questions, we're going to move on to our next officer report, which is Vice President Ibrahim.
Hi, everyone. Like Emma says, we're going to be around this summer, and I will be more free. So please, if you want to reach out to me, don't be scared. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right. Thank you. Any questions for Vice President Ibrahim? Any questions? Any questions? Seeing no questions, we'll move on to the next officer report, which is mine. So as President Zelmer mentioned again earlier, we will have vacancies throughout the year typically. And so that usually comes up when someone's having issues with classes or they just have a change of plans, they will resign from their position, and then you will open up an election. That person will apply through Involve You. That person will come before the Senate, typically. They'll have 2 minutes to open with their statement as to why you should vote for them. You'll get a chance to have discussion and ask questions of the candidate. They'll give a 2-minute closing statement, and then that candidate will exit the chambers as you get to kind of discuss why you should or should not be able to vote yes for them in that election. And so again, you all were just elected in a widespread election that happens every spring, but when vacancies occur throughout the year, that will be a long and a hard process to do every time someone resigns. And so anyone else that comes to the Senate basically throughout the year will be voted on only by you all. So make sure that you're making an informed decision on who all you vote for. That election will be a little bit down on the agenda, I think, but after senator reports, but we won't have any. So with that, please make sure that you're listening to what the candidate says in their report and that you speak on the qualities they say in that. For today, I will allow outside testimony, but only as it pertains to their ability to do this role. So if you're like, I heard they hate KFC and I love KFC, that doesn't really pertain to this role. And so make sure if you're like, hey, they hate KFC, so I don't know if they'll be able to do the speaker role, then I'll accept that. So please keep that in mind as we're voting on our speaker candidates today. Any questions for me? Oh, go ahead.
Also, when we're asking questions to the candidates, one, make sure it's a question that like the response will help clarify who you want to vote for, not just random questions to waste time. And then also the questions need to be posed to all of the candidates, not just one. So you can't be like, oh, you said this in your speech, can you tell me more about that? It needs to be a question that all the candidates have an equal opportunity to answer. Also, making sure that we're not commenting on anything that does not pertain to the role. Yes, and we'll shut down any like not good conversation.
All right, yeah, and to speak on that more, so again, first question you have to ask to both candidates. We passed the resolution this year. If you have a follow-up question, you can ask one candidate, but the initial question has to be to everybody. If you have a follow-up, then you can ask one candidate that. Go ahead, Senator Douglas.
It's a comment, it's just a clarification from the vacancy resolution discussion. Can be heard by the candidate. They do not leave the room.
Oh yes, true. All right.
And
so,
second questioning can be called.
Yes. So if you don't feel confident in the candidate today, you could table it. I wouldn't advise tabling this particular election, but I guess you can. There's also a vote of no confidence. So usually it's yes, no, or abstain, or no confidence. Again, you are here to represent your constituency, so abstentions shouldn't really be a problem in this case, but if you don't have confidence that this person can do the job and do it well, then you can vote no confidence on them. Am I missing anything, President Zelmer? Vice President is, okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments for me? Any questions?
For you, yes.
Okay, Senator Bassnet.
It was wonderful to see you again. It was wonderful to work under your presidency. And today as a speaker, it was great to have you. I hope to see you again and again.
Thank you. I might drop in sometime next year to see what you guys are up to. All right. Any other questions for me? Senator Roberts?
What law school are you going to?
I can't tell y'all that.
Follow on the gram.
Yeah, follow me on the gram. Any other questions for me? Seeing no other questions, we're going to move on to senator reports. You all were elected a couple weeks ago, so there are no senator reports today. Moving on to vacancies. So before we head to the speaker election, I'll announce the other vacancies. So if you have any friends or colleagues that you think are qualified for these positions, tell them to run in a vacancy election next year. So we have 2 College of Allied Health and Nursing positions, 1 College of Education, and 1 Graduate Studies Senator. It's an awesome feeling to have a full Senate, y'all, so make sure that you are recommending people for these positions. Next, we're gonna go ahead and start with our speaker election. So again, I don't know how many candidates we have today, but each candidate will get up to and speak for 2 minutes on why they should be voted for. You all will ask questions. They'll have a 2-minute closing statement, and then you will discuss this candidate. All right. So, are our candidates for the speaker election in the room today or on Zoom? We have 1. Is there anyone on Zoom? All right. Seeing no other candidates. Would you like? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What's your last name?
Mesta, STA.
Okay. So, will both of you head to the podium? So you all have kind of seen how the speaker role works today. Usually the speaker runs the meeting, speaks for everyone, calls on people, and then they do some managerial work behind the scenes as well, working with exec leadership. And so vote as you see fit today. And so
Can I add something?
Yes.
Just an important thing to note, the speaker is a viewpoint neutral party. So a speaker should not be giving their personal opinion on things. Their role is really to facilitate an open and fair dialogue. So
Yes. All right. Will our first candidate speak on for 2 minutes as to why the Senate should vote for you. I'll start my timer and let you know when to begin. All right. Are you ready? You may begin.
I'll go ahead and go first. Howdy, my name's Joey Novak. I use they, them pronouns. I am somebody who has been in Senate for a very long time. This is going into my 3rd year in Senate, and on top of that, I've done quite a few other things. I did some coordinator positions. I ran the social media last year, so if you saw the TikToks, some of those were me. I can't take credit for all of them. Rihanna had some really good ones. I also did Vacancy Elections last year, planned our events, all that fun stuff. And in addition to that, I also do a whole host of other jobs on campus, including a community advisor role. But outside of that, I am also your guys' state delegate for this area. So fun fact, if you ever want anything passed along to your state representatives, I got you. But what I have been doing for the last couple years has been trying to directly make this campus a better place via my means of working with some lovely other people on projects like getting the menstrual products in all of the bathrooms, which I got to work with the lovely Senator Bassnet on, as well as getting kitchens and lounges in the res halls unlocked and free to be used by students last year, as well as my proudest achievement, which was getting to work on the accessibility omnibus bill to pass through a bunch of major, much needed changes to help with accessibility on this campus. But what I really want to do in this coming semester is I want to help elevate the voices of other people. This is my last year, so I want to elevate new people's voices, and I want to act as a resource to you guys and help all of you to become better student leaders.
Thank you. Will our next candidate give your 2-minute opening statement, please?
Hi everyone, my name is David Mesta. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm currently a junior at Mankato, so I've been here for a year now. The reason why I'm running for speaker is because I am a neutral voice and somebody who has chaired multiple committees. So I currently serve as vice president of Lead MN, the sister organization of Students United, where I've ran the platform committee, I've chaired the governing council, I've also been the co-chair of the Academic Affairs Council at Minnesota State, and served on multiple committees like the vice chancellor of IT, where I've worked with different groups and have really cultivated a culture of positivity. And so that's what I want to do as a speaker, is be a neutral party that helps all the members and bring their ideas to life and really make this committee something that everybody will enjoy, but also make it seamless and smoothless, as I've been able to understand how Robert's Rule works and the building blocks to it. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll now go into the questioning period. So this is your chance to, again, ask a question of both candidates first, and then if you have a follow-up, you can ask one candidate that follow-up. So, are there any questions for our candidates today? Senator Bassnet.
What are your weakness and strength?
Senator Bassnet, can you repeat that question a little louder, please?
What are your weakness and strength?
Speaker Stiff, do you have a preference on who goes first?
Oh yeah, we'll do back and forth. So first, you, Senator Novak.
Awesome. I consider one of my greatest strengths to be conflict resolution, as well as working with a team. I have a whole host of experience working with teams, as well as resolving conflicts. It's one of the things that I believe to be my strongest suit, that I would be very capable to hopefully help the members of this Senate to be the most productive that they possibly can be and get the most out of their time that they can, while having an overall enjoyable experience here at Senate, which I think is a thing that a lot of people forget. But ultimately, I want this to be a very enjoyable experience. As far as a weakness, I will say that a personal weakness that I have is that I will not lie to you guys, that I am a very busy and involved person. As I stated before, I work a ridiculous amount of jobs on campus here and off campus. So my greatest weakness is that I do definitely stretch myself very thin, but I make certain to not overstretch myself, and I will be able to dedicate what is necessary to this role. That is my promise.
Senator Mesta.
So my strength is being a community organizer. I've been able to build the Lehman organization for the past year by recruiting from my PCMF from 3 members to over 10 members from across the state. Also recruiting our cabinet members this year. I think one of my weaknesses is sometimes has to be not always understanding like what people need, and so it's creating that culture and really building that over the year. What do you guys need from me, but also how do you want me to kind of be the role model you guys deserve?
Beautiful. More questions? Senator Roberts.
How do you plan to combat your greatest weaknesses?
We'll start with Senator Mesta first.
So I kind of described it a little bit, but combating my greatest weakness is basically by really talking to you guys and knowing what you guys want from me, but also hearing from you about my weaknesses. If I'm not doing something that ups to your standards, let me know. I'm always there for constructive criticism.
Thank you. Senator Novak.
It is not a new development for me to be very, very involved in things, and I have learned very well what my limits are and how to manage my time and to make very certain that I am dedicating what is necessary to the roles that I'm taking on, and I will be making sure to make student government a high priority in making sure that I am not underserving you fine, wonderful people, and that I'm making sure to give you guys everything that you need to have a wonderful experience here at Senate.
Beautiful. Next question. Senator, I don't know your last name. Park. All right. Senator Park, please go. And then first we'll start with Senator Novak on this question.
Consider both of your past experiences. It's not a secret that procedures of getting those achievements have clashes, disagreements. So how did you or how will you overcome your unconscious bias of not giving everyone equal opportunity to speak?
I worked very, very hard to make sure that I'm somebody who can observe things from a non-biased lens, and even if I do have presupposed beliefs about certain things, I make very certain to keep those apart from my professional roles, especially when acting as a moderator or somebody who ultimately, in my eyes, the speaker's role is to uplift the voices of others and to help others find their way to achieving their goals and their projects. I've worked in the past with several organizations that have very different beliefs than myself to achieve common goals and to achieve things that I believe were mutually beneficial, and I hope to be able to help you all achieve many of your goals as well.
Senator Mesta.
So part of my leadership experience has been chairing a lot of committees and councils. And so even if I have like my opinion, my goal is to represent you guys, but also make sure your voices are lifted. If you guys decide not to do something that I may disagree with, then that's the role that you guys will take. And sometimes what I've done in my committees is that I'll speak last. I'll give what I say, but it's really up to the committee members what they want to do and what they choose to vote for. And so that's something that I've really done with my group. I give them the list of what they want to do, I tell them what the plan process is, and then they vote from that decision. One of the things we worked on was the legislative agenda for the past year, where they all voted and they all made recommendations and really prepped that up.
Thank you. Keep your hands up so I can write. What's your last name?
Blanchard.
Okay. Senator Roberts, I got you. Anyone else have their hand up? All right. President Zelmer. All right. Anyone else? What's your last name? Oh, did you have? Oh, okay. Sorry. Anyone else? So I can get on my speakers list. My eyesight isn't good, y'all. Just bear with me. All right. We'll start with Senator Blanchard, and then Senator Mesta will go first for this question.
Senator Novak has already sort of touched on this topic, but what outside time commitments do you have, and how will they impact your role as speaker next year?
So currently my term as vice president is ending June 30th. And so realistically, my time capacity is has been opening up. So I'll be basically, I'm already structuring my academic year for what I'll be taking, so I'm double majoring. So realistically, I think my capacity is pretty open. So I'll really schedule that. And so that's kind of the plan is like, I'll make the time for it if it's needed. If I'm not available, then then please contact me and I'll make that time open.
Senator Novak.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm actually taking a lot less responsibility on next year in anticipation of being able to give a lot more to student government. But what I will be doing is I will be acting as a community advisor, which is a role that I've already been filling this year and have absolutely no worries that I will be able to continue filling that role. And I will also continue to be the state delegate for this Senate district, which is a role that will mostly include a lot of dedication over the summer, so I won't have to worry too much about conflict with next year with that.
Great. Senator Roberts, I will come back to you. Senator Zelmer hasn't had a chance to speak yet, so President Zelmer.
That's fine. Please describe what what your interpretation of the expectations of speaker are in either the Constitution or how you see the speaker role acting in the Senate.
Senator Novak, you will go first for this one.
Amazing. Well, I will say that constitutionally speaking, it is the senator, sorry, I keep thinking senator now. It is the speaker's role to keep Senate, to run the Senate meetings, sorry, poor words, but to run the Senate meetings, to prepare the agendas, to maintain who is going to be speakers for each week, as well as to ensure that meetings are run in a manner that is the most equitable to all of the people that are present in order to make certain that everybody has the opportunity to speak and that everybody's voices can be heard, which is something that's very important to me. Philosophically speaking, I believe that it's the speaker's role to act as a non-biased support unit who is there mostly to provide resources and aid to the members of the Senate in achieving their projects, as well as growing as student leaders and being able to properly voice their concerns as to any issue that may be brought to the table. And these are all things that I feel that I'm very equipped to do.
Thank you. Senator Mesa.
The speaker role is an unbiased position where realistically it's making sure you guys make the decisions and I'm there as the mediator to make sure that the process is seamless when we hold the agenda, that our minutes are going okay, our agendas items are getting sent before the day or a week before so that everybody's prepped. So part of the other role too is just uplifting your guys' voices, working with you on resolutions, on item agendas that you guys want to bring forth, and really making sure that every meeting we're really up to the standards of running the smoothness of this committee, but also making sure that over time that I can be that support and development, especially with engagement too. I think outside of the Senate meeting, it's really supporting how do we engage members, how do we encourage people to have their voices lifted, and really help you guys out.
Thank you. Senator Roberts, did you have a question?
Yes. What are your philosophies with Robert's Rules of Order?
Senator Mesa, you will go first.
So my philosophy on Robert's Rule is to try to keep it as minimal as long as it's not always needed. So continuing that pedigree, but also making sure that if it's really needed and if people are going out of order, then I'll have to use it more heavily. So that's kind of the rule books of Robert's Rule that I've used, is try to make sure that members have that chance, but also make sure everything goes smoothly. So that if the meeting's running long or if people are overstepping their bounds, then it's making sure that we use that as a way to balance that act.
Senator Novak.
I have had the opportunity to work very heavily with Robert's Rules, not just from student government, but also from my time as RHA president. And Robert's Rules was originally designed with the purpose and intention of allowing meetings to run as smoothly and efficiently as possible, and allowing the opportunity for everybody to get the chance to speak. I believe that there are some times in which Robert's Rules can get very muddled and overly complicated, and those are areas that I hope to be able to tweak to properly achieve the actualized ideals of Robert's Rules rather than follow it to a T. But I do intend to utilize Robert's Rules to gain that initial goal of seeing everybody most equitably represented in how they want to speak, but I will be taking departures from Robert's rules in order to ensure that that is followed.
Thank you. Other questions? Senator Dustin.
I was just going to ask a follow-up question to the president's question about your expectation of senators. Can you elaborate a little bit more about what do you expect of the Senate?
Is this question for both or just one, Senator Dustin?
For both.
Both, okay.
Yeah.
So Senator Novak, then you would go first.
Amazing. My expectation of senators is that I hope to see a very actively engaged group of individuals who are very passionate about seeking change on campus. I hope to see everybody with projects, and if that is something that is very hard for people to come by, I intend to help people to find those projects and to find whatever way they can possibly get more involved. I also expect our senators to be respectful of not only the exec board, but also others as well as administration. I want to see a very professional group of senators who are truly able to best represent the interests of their constituency and are able to make positive change on campus. Because paramount of all these expectations is that I expect a Senate that wants to see positive change and a Senate that is looking out to make a good difference on campus.
Thank you. Senator Mesa?
So my expectation with senators, my expectations with senators is basically to make sure that they're supporting their roles, but also make sure that they're doing their roles, that they're talking to their constituents, making sure that when they bring something up, is that what the representative body wants. And it's also helping you guys with your projects, making sure you guys have those project resolution items and some other stuff that you guys want to support. And that's kind of the goal of the speaker. That's also what I'm making sure. But also, when we're in these meetings, it's being respectful, it's being sincere. This is not a meeting to just talk and just do the opposite of what we're engaged here. Unless you guys want to stay here till, like, I don't know, 7 p.m. Realistically, you guys want to get out because you have a life outside. And so it's making sure everything goes seamless, and it's making sure to help you guys. And again, I can work with you guys outside of student government meetings and really support you. And understand the rule books and understand how the structure will be for the next year, so that you guys are prepared and you guys are immeasurable to the student body, but also to our administration that comes here and takes their time to speak, to be in attendance.
Thank you. Any other questions for our candidates? What's your last name?
Nirola.
Okay, Senator Nirola.
What are your specific ambitions if you were to be elected as the speaker for the 19th student government?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Could you elaborate on ambitions?
Like what things they are thinking of doing as speaker, or achievements they're thinking for after getting elected as speaker, in their role as speaker, maybe.
Okay. Unless you want to rephrase Senator Nirola, I might have to strike that out for redundancy, as we've already heard it. Also, the speaker cannot work on any projects. They have to be non-biased. Would you like to rephrase it in a different way?
I'd like to withdraw it back.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Any other questions? Senator Royer.
Excuse me. How would you use your time if you were to not be elected speaker to still be involved in the student government and with the senators?
Okay.
Oh, who went last?
Thank you.
All right, Senator Bassnet.
So if I'm not elected as a speaker, then I'll serve as the off-campus senator and really work with the members to really build on projects and ideas. So one of the ideas that I thought, because the bill was passed, was the hunger-free designation if I was not elected as speaker, as I can give funding to the food pantries and really support that. So that's one of the ideas, but also really supporting the members and really be a part of the team and really help out in any ways I can.
Senator Novak.
I like to call this my kind of my backup plan, which is that in the event that I'm not elected speaker, I will absolutely still be dedicating a massive amount of time to Senate. I actually, from going through my office hours from last year, although I will admit sometimes I may have forgotten to turn them in, I noticed that I had been doing roughly the same amount of office hours as like the speaker role is blocked out to in the Constitution, which is why I was like, yeah, this is definitely something that's doable. But that will not change in the event that I'm not elected as speaker. I will continue to be putting in a massive amount of effort into student government, and I also have a couple of issues that I would be advocating for, which pertain to not only constituents in the Res Hall, but throughout all of campus, which I would hope to advocate more for accessibility, as well as try to move the green transport fee out of the SAF fund, because that caused a lot of issues last budget season. But those are also projects that I am fully willing to set aside my own bias on should I become speaker.
Thank you. Any other questions? Do we have, I haven't checked Zoom yet, but any other questions in the room? All right. All right, Senator Dustin.
So from what I'm hearing, it seems like you guys have like amazing ideas, like a backup plans, just in case you are not elected as speaker. So, and also balancing that with your speaker role, you have to be someone who does not have a project. And these are all great ideas that could transform the campus community. So how do you, like a follow-up question to that, or like a flip question to that, if you are elected speaker, how do you balance your ambition, like the projects you have in mind, with your leadership role as a speaker?
Senator Novak, you will go first.
Yes. While those are projects that I would love to see completed, I am also very willing to, I'm willing to take a step back and not so much fight for myself as I have been the last couple of years, but as I opened with, my goal is to lift up everybody else to fight for what they are passionate about, rather than me just continuing to fight for what I'm passionate about. Because ultimately, this is my last year, and if I make changes here, it would help future students, but those are issues that ultimately I'm becoming more and more disconnected from, and I would much rather spend my energy and my time helping to uplift the issues and projects of our new senators who are very fresh on the field and are very aware of what they're passionate about and what they want to see done.
Senator Mesta.
So if elected as a speaker, so my ambitions will have to be on the sideway, to make sure as a speaker I'm an unbiased person, but that doesn't work on projects, that really supports the team, that making sure that I help them. So that's something that I'm willing to give away as a speaker, to really support the team and really support the group as that representative person. So that's kind of the goal, is to really support you guys, what are you guys' ideas you want to do, not really focus on what I want. It's about what you guys want and how do you see that's fit.
Thank you. Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, seeing no questions, we will close the questioning period. All right, senators, now you'll have a 2-minute closing statement. Senator Mesta, you will go first as to why these senators should vote for you. Are you ready, Senator Mesta? Go ahead.
Yep. So my name is David Mesta. I'm currently a junior at Minnesota State. The reason I'm running for speaker is to represent the student body, but also to be that voice for you guys and to be that support system on decisions you guys want to make. I've served as the vice president of LEAD I'm at. I've served in that statewide role, and I could really bring that lens as a transfer student to you guys and really be that supporting body. Be that person who has gone to the system office. How do you support you guys with administration, the system office on your projects and your ideals? So thank you, and please consider me as your next speaker.
Thank you. Are you ready, Senator Novak?
Yeah.
You may start.
Howdy again, everyone. As I open with, I'm somebody who's been in student government a very long time. I like to think that I know more or less the ins and outs of how to how to properly run a student government meeting, and how to help get you guys all the resources that you need, which would of course be my most paramount goal, is to help elevate this Senate to do what this Senate can do best, and to see this Senate truly become what it can be at its best. And I will say that even just from our very first meeting, as well as the inauguration that we had last week, I'm already extremely optimistic about this group, and I am already very excited to get to work with you guys in whatever capacity that may be, whether I am the speaker or whether I'm just a senator among you guys. I truly hope that I would have the opportunity to get to be your speaker, but I will serve you guys in whatever way is most applicable to see everybody here excel in the best way possible.
Thank you. All right, so this is the first time since the rule change that we'll have the in and out type of chamber idea. So I'll give you two the option. If you want to step out, you can, but you can stay inside the chamber for discussion if that is what you want. I will just ask you to sit in the gallery for now, so it's not like weird sitting at the table while people are like discussing you. And then senators who are at the table, because of that resolution that was passed, these candidates now do have a chance to defend themselves. If you want to call them back to the podium, they will have the opportunity to defend whatever you say. Okay, so candidates, let's give our candidates a round of applause. Thank you. Please sit in the gallery as we begin our discussion period, and senators at the table, be prepared to discuss. All right, so I'm going to start my list.
We've actually opted to step out, if that's all right with you.
That is fine, go ahead. All right, so I hope you all have your thinking caps on. We had two amazing candidates today, and so I will start my speaker list. Who wants to speak first on these candidates? All right, Senator Roberts. Who else would like to speak?
Osmond.
Okay, Senator Osmond. All right. Senator Parikh. Who else? We're asking if you would like to speak on the candidates. I'm just writing down a list.
Oh. You can also wave if you like.
Senator Rock has her hand up on Zoom.
All right, who's the senator on Zoom?
Senator Rock.
All right. All right, and then I'll call on people as we go. Oh, Senator Bassnet. And
Harvey.
Okay. All right, so we will begin our first discussion point with Senator Roberts.
So first off, I'm going to say that I think Joey and David, no matter who ends up getting elected as speaker at the end of the day, will both be amazing candidates for speaker. With that being said, I am leaning towards Joey, and I lean towards Joey just because I believe that Robert's Rules of Order has importance. I believe that it has a significant importance in making sure that everyone's voice gets uplifted. Because the design of Robert's Rules of Order was meant to uplift everyone's voice. I also do appreciate Joey's acknowledgement willing to reinterpret it when it needs to be reinterpreted. But I do think that there is need of Robert's Rules of Order because it's designed for a reason and designed to keep us efficient and designed to make sure that no one's voice is not heard. But with that being said, I think that both, no matter what, will be wonderful candidates, but I am supporting Joey today.
Thank you. Senator Osmond?
I believe we should be voting for Senator Novak, primarily because of the question the senator asked, how are you going to balance whatever ambitions or goals you have in mind with the neutrality of being the student government speaker. Senator Novak answered that perfectly by stating that they will be leaving school, that they will be graduating, so in essence they don't have any direct interest. And well, they do have an interest because they care, but they do not have a direct interest in what decisions the student government will make, so they will be more neutral. While the other candidate simply stated that they will, just not be biased. So I find Senator Novak way more convincing when it comes to that.
Thank you. Senator Parikh?
This time I will be supporting Senator Novak just because I think that confidence in your speech matters a lot if you're representing as a speaker. And under pressure, representing each and everyone's thought, you should have the fluency and command on your language, which I think Joey has better.
Thank you. Senator Dustin.
Yeah, so first of all, like Senator Ramos said, no matter who wins, I think both candidates has the capacity to serve us. My reason for going with Senator Novak is just because of flip side of that question you asked, the answer you just gave. It seems like the other senator has a really amazing project with the food pantry, and his elaboration on the connection he has, the resources he can put into that. I think it's a really amazing project that possibly none of us have, in mind to implement if he becomes a speaker. So I really hope that he can serve in his capacity as a senator to implement, because it will really help to improve the campus community, not just for the Senate, but also for the student body. And I think with him being a speaker, there will be no way that he can work on that project. And I don't think anyone has that resources and expertise to implement his project for him. So I really do hope that he can work on that project.
Thank you. Senator Hawk on Zoom.
Hi everyone. Like Senator Robert has just said, that they both are great candidates, but if I would be definitely watching for Joey, because I have seen him being in Senate and seeing how dedicated he actually is. Being here, like this is I think my 2.5 years that I'm here, I have been seeing Joey from the very beginning. He has always been involved. I have noticed how neutral he is. No matter what the project is or no matter what it is, he has always been neutral, and I have noticed that he, even through his speech, tried to make sure that he was being very neutral, he was being very nice to everybody. Even when it comes to Robert's rules or any other things that he has just said about, he seems to be a very fit candidate, because maybe I'm talking on personal grounds, but by seeing that how much he has actually done for Senate, it makes him be a lot more fit candidate, at least on my behalf. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Hawk. I just want to remind everyone that Senator Novak uses they, them pronouns. Next, we'll have Senator Bassnet.
Okay, to be very honest, I think that both of the candidates have great experience. Amazing speech, the confident, let's be honest, standing there and tackling with the one-on-one questions and then, competing with other is absolutely a great thing. And then they come up with such a great answers. And then I was like, I don't know which I should choose. But after hearing some answers, and then I've also collaborated with Senator Novak before, and then they were absolutely great on the project. And then as a team too. And then I think as a speaker, I think they could bring out the best of us, and then our voice. And then I think, yeah, that's why I'm choosing. I'm going for Senator Novak this time.
Thank you, Senator Al Harvey.
I think most of what I was thinking you guys already said, but like Douglas said, like whoever wins, they're both gonna bring good work and dedication and everything. But you're saying that confidence is important, and I truly do believe that confidence is important, especially as a speaker, to be able to improvise your answers and to catch up when you realize that you're kind of messing up with your words. I think it's really important. And then another thing that I think is important is experience, and Joey's been doing this for a long time. It's their last year, and I think that they should have this chance. The other person, I'm sorry, I forgot their name.
Senator Musto? Yeah, Senator Musto.
Okay, he's only a junior. I think that if he thinks that this is good for him, then he still has another chance to do this again. So I would be Team Joey.
Thank you. President Zelmer?
So as, I'm not going to say like who I'm leaning towards just because I don't want to sway anyone, but I was the Speaker of the Student Government my sophomore year, and I think that it's important. I think the biggest thing that a speaker can do is be not only the resource for someone to come to with projects with the experience on this campus, but also when there is drama, let's say like Senator Roberts really hates me for something I'm doing and I don't really want to talk to him, the speaker is the one who's able to say, how can we get you both to work together? And to be really that median between if two senators are having a conflict or can't come to or if we're talking about a resolution and they can't come to a consensus on how we can move forward with it, even though maybe just some minor edits need to be made, that's what I think made my speaker year successful, is being that person who anybody can come to, not just the people that they've necessarily worked with. So I think that like the person I'm supporting talked a lot about conflict resolution as well as working as a team, and the experience they have I think is important as well. When someone comes to the exec board, not only are we able to say, hey, you should reach out to David Jones with this, like Vice President Jones, but also the speaker should be able to do that as well and help with, resources. And I also don't think it's fair to talk about, oh, well, if they weren't the speaker, they'd be able to do these projects. It's on us to make sure that every project moves forward, and that I think that the speaker also helps people find projects. So it's good that they have a good knowledge base of what's needed to be done.
Beautiful. Do we have any other discussion points? Any other discussion points? All right, seeing no discussion points, we will close the discussion period and move on to voting. So I'm going to have you all rip a little piece of paper.
I have pieces of paper.
Oh, we already have pre-ripped pieces of paper. Good job. So you can write the candidate's last name, which is Mesta or Novak, and if you are not confident in either one, you can write no confidence.
And people on Zoom, put it in the chats like privately to Emmy.
Yeah, people on Zoom, please do that. You too, Vice President.
Oh, I have a piece of
I will come around and collect these as you guys are ready. All right. Clear decimal. Are you ready? No? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'll make my rounds again. All right.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all keep making comments about me.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. You want to come over here and
I can't help you vote.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But I can just give you.
Yeah, I'll be over there to help in a second.
All right, I will get our candidates.
Really? Oh, she's probably bringing him in. Welcome back, friends. Got it. Y'all want to vote?
Oh,
Yes. I don't know. No, but in case it's changed. Okay.
All right, we have had an election, so congratulations to Speaker Novak. All right, I have a question for you. Do you resign from your position as a senator, Speaker Novak?
I do resign from my position as a Res Life Senator.
All right, we have another vacancy in that case for Res Life Senator. So Speaker Novak, I will need you to raise your hand, your right hand. I state your name.
I, Joey Novak,
Will represent and serve
will represent and serve
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
the students of Minnesota State University Mankato
in student life and academic needs,
in student life and academic needs,
and will uphold the mission,
Constitution,
Constitution, and bylaws
Constitution and bylaws
of the student government.
of the student government.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
Congratulations. Now, Speaker Novak, I will retire my position and hand this gavel over to you.
You want me to steal your spot too?
Yes, I do want you to steal my
All right, I'll steal your spot.
You are front and center.
Yes. Hello. Howdy, new friends. Well, not new friends. Same fine, wonderful people. Before we jump back into things, I want to give another big thank you and a big round of applause to Rihanna Stiff, who was our temporary speaker. Heck yeah, amazing. All right, we don't have all too much more to get through, but following off of vacancies, we are now going to go ahead and move into new business, where we have our Students United Commitments Resolution on the table, which, yes, is written by Edie, I'm hearing. So, we have those on the table for everybody to look at. I will also give the opportunity to our Vice President, Edie, if you would like to speak on your resolution. All right, yielding to Emma Zelmer.
So Students United, for those who don't know, is the nonprofit that represents the 7 Minnesota State University students at the local, system, state, and federal level. So they work directly with the system office, and their board of directors are the 7 student body presidents. So for this year, that was President Stiff. And again, I'm not going to be voting. I'm just here to answer questions on it since it's a conflict of interest because I'm state chair. But at this campus, we've come up with these commitments. They were written by students with 2 years of student input. Both of these have been voted, have been supported and voted yes for by the last 2 student body presidents, so Rihanna as well as Andrew Trenny the year before that. These were written with 2 years of student input, not only from the 7 student senates, but also with other student organizations, specifically ones who focused on these areas, as well as some directors of those programs and staff members and professionals in these areas as well. These commitments really are written by students to hold the universities accountable. The Winona State has committed to signing on, Metro State is committed to signing on, as well as Moorhead. We have a verbal commitment from St. Cloud and a commitment, but waiting to hear more because their president recently had a health emergency from Southwest, and Bemidji's president is leaving at the end of the year, so they won't be signing on to anything. But you can read the overview. Really, we went forward, Students United went forward with these because they are, there's no like straight upfront monetary amount connected to it. So it's really up to the university to see where you're at and where you're able to go to. So if President Inch were to sign on to these, he is committing to coming and updating the student government with things they're working on in regards to equity and inclusion and sustainability and where they're at on these processes. As well as there will be a public dashboard for the public as well as all of our students to see where the universities are working on these issues. So like, let's say Winona State's working on something that Mankato's not, we'll be able to look at that and say, hey, we should also be working on this, or how do we get to this point? As well as we can see what we've been up to, and then let's say 3 years from now, or 5 years from now when we're all gone, students will be able to see all of that data and what's been worked on for the past 5 years, so they know not to try something that's already been done. They know what step needs to be taken next to continue moving forward, as well as we will make sure that the administration are updating student government and other student groups on what is happening within these commitments. So yes, it is motioned by Vice President Ibrahim and seconded by Senator Roberts at this time.
Amazing. Then in that case, I will give the opportunity to Senator Roberts if you'd like to speak on your second.
I will be speaking on my second. I am in support of this resolution for multiple reasons. First, these commitments serve to not only help our planet for future students that come on our campus, but also serve to help every single student through diversity, equity, and inclusion. I will argue that these commitments will not only help to improve student lives and the generations that follow, but will put accountability to those actions. It will allow for data collection and allow us to see progress to these commitments as time progresses. It gives us the ability to continue pushing for these issues even after turnover. In times where, just like last year, we had a huge new Senate that was largely new and, I will admit, at the time, inexperienced. This allows us to get through those challenges. This allows us to be able to review and be able to see progress as years come. This allows us to develop a very strong database and see as we progress over the years and hopefully have a very much improved university. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much for speaking on your second. I'll just give you guys a brief overview of how this is going to go, working through this legislation here. So, I'm going to open up for questions in a second, where you guys can ask any questions that you wish of the people who have brought forward this resolution. And then following the questions, we will be able to move into a period of discussion where we can talk about what our opinions are on this piece, which will be followed by a period of voting. So, with that being said, I will now open it up to if anybody has any questions. All right, I gotta say it 3 times per Robert's rules, but any questions? Oh, I see a question from Senator Dustin.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, you said this motion or resolution has been in place for 2 years?
So this resolution is not. So the commitments, Students United has been gathering data to write these, and these were supported by the last student body president as well as, well, I guess 2 last since I'm new. And then, but right now is when Students United is asking presidents to sign on to these. So in the next month or so, we will be having like a signing on thing, where the presidents who have committed to these will sign onto these commitments, and that's when Students United will create the dashboard, among other things. President Inch, and I have email confirmation of this, wants the Senate to approve them prior to signing on. They have already been through other consultation processes. I first brought these to President Inch as state chair when I did this last campus visit. So not last week, but the last time I was at Senate, I don't remember the month, February? Yes, February. I brought these to him and asked him to sign on. He said he wanted to go to the students, wanted to go to faculty and the other bargaining units. He says that has happened and that there has been little feedback that wasn't positive. But again, these are written by students for the progress of student advocacy in the future. But he said that he wanted to have a resolution go in front of Senate to support them before he signed on. So that is why this whereas be it resolved resolution is here. So if this is approved, I will send this resolution to the president, which will direct him that students support him signing on to these commitments. Does that answer your question? So he hasn't had like an opportunity prior to sign on, except for he wanted to know from all of you.
All right, then in that case, do I see any other questions before moving into a discussion block? All right, seeing no questions, we'll go to a discussion. This is a time to interject whatever your thoughts are on the resolution on the table. This is also a wonderful time to bring forward any motions or amendments. So I'll open it up for discussion. I see Senator Nguyen, or no, sorry, I thought you were moving for a placard. Senator Dustin.
I really support this resolution, especially with the clause that make emphasis on the dashboard where students will be able to read through and see what's going on in other schools. I really think it's an amazing idea. And owing to the fact that Student United is like an umbrella organization that represents all 7 Minnesota State universities, there are a lot of projects that I think are very systemic and they are shared among the 7 universities. And the easier way to get real kind of like consensus and to get support from other schools is to be able to see those problems on the board. So like for instance, I was just talking to some of the senators today about the health insurance project, for instance, that I was working on the past time. And some of the senators who worked with me understood that it's a systemic problem that does not only exist here on our campus, but also at the other 6 campuses. So if they get to know that here we are passionate about this project and we want to achieve this, I believe other students in other places would be passionate about that too, and they'll be able to maybe ask the student government to be able to work on that. So I really think it's going to create awareness, it's going to make us to be informed, and this is how we can easily tackle systemic problems that we share.
Amazing, thank you. I will leave to if anybody else has any other points of discussion. Douglas, sorry, Senator Roberts.
I have a motion to suspend the rules for the purposes of voting today.
All right. That motion is to essentially expedite in order to allow for us to vote on this resolution today rather than waiting to vote on it at a later time. So I will leave it to our fine people. Do we have a second on that motion? I see a second from Senator Roiger. Do I see any dissent on this motion? Anyone who is opposed to voting today? Seeing no dissent, I assume unanimous consent, so that motion will pass, meaning that we will vote on this resolution today. I will leave it in case there are any other further points of discussion on the table. Do we have any further points of discussion on this resolution before we vote? Any points of discussion? And seeing no points of discussion, we will go ahead and move into a vote. So, how we're going to do this vote is going to be very nice and simple. I'm going to ask people whether you are in favor of this resolution, opposed to this resolution, or would like to abstain. You would abstain if for whatever reason you feel that you should not be voting on this resolution. For example, if you have a conflict of interest, like if it was a motion to give $500 to speech and debate, and you happen to be the captain of the speech and debate team. So that would be a good reason to abstain. But for the purposes of this, I assume that for the most part people will be able to vote on this type of a resolution. So when I say whether you are in favor, you would raise your hand if you are in favor, opposed, raise your hand, or abstentions, raise your hand. So I will go ahead and ask, all in favor of this resolution? Wow, this is going to be a resounding yes. Zoom?
I have at least one thumbs up. The others are, I'm waiting. I got a second, yes.
This looks like an almost astounding yes. I think.
Yep.
Okay, it would be significant. So I'm going to go ahead and say, hands down, all opposed. Any abstentions? Abstention. All right, on an almost unanimous vote with one abstention, this resolution will pass, and I will gavel that in. That is our first resolution passed as a new Senate. Everybody should pat yourself on the back for that, because that's absolutely wonderful. Already off to a great start. So, we'll now go ahead and move along on the agenda. We've got old business. That would be for if there were any resolutions or any other business that have been previously introduced and tabled for a next meeting, or just simply not voted on that meeting for whatever reason. We don't have any of that today, so I will open it up to if anybody has any announcements. I see an I can't quite see. I see an announcement from former President Stiff. I almost said Vice President. I don't know where that came from.
Right. I just want to say congratulations to the 90th Senate. I'm really hopeful and I don't know, just positive, and I don't know, I'm just excited for this new group. I want to say if you all need anything from me, I'm going to be in law school, so I don't know, ask Emma first and then contact me. But congratulations, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys do next year.
All right. I believe I saw another announcement from Mark Constantine.
I just want to remind folks, the CSU sponsors our late night breakfast, and it'll be next Monday, free breakfast at 10 o'clock. We'll have a little survey going on at our student activities. We usually try to get a little sample of things, but You're always hungry as students, we all are. So come at 10 o'clock on Monday and enjoy some breakfast as a thanks and a little fuel for you as you go to the exam week. And then the other thing, we do have our therapy dogs, our last one of the semester. Most of you know Lenny Kuppel, who some of you don't know Lenny. He's our communication marketing coordinator for the CSU. And he'll be doing a therapy dog session, our last one. And I don't know the time, usually it's 6:45. It'll be on Monday as well, leading into the late night breakfast as well. So if you want to look on our website, you can see the exact time. But just want to make sure you know about those things and partake. Thanks.
And then I see another announcement from David Cowan.
Just an announcement, the 89th Senate asked that on finals week, all those days, we have, at least at night, the PLOT free. And it will be free starting at 5:30 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you can thank the 89th Senate for that.
Thank you very much. I believe that deserves a round of applause. All right. Do I have any other announcements from anyone present? I see another announcement over here.
Just so that I don't throw my announcement at you, first I want to say I'm super excited to start this. I think that me being here is a good opportunity to give you guys a good liaison between student government and the international student, working with the Carney Center and being president of the ISA. I hope that this would be a good connection. And on to my announcements, there's a talent show happening tomorrow at 5 p.m. in the Ostrander Auditorium. The grand winner is going to be winning $300 and then a bunch of other prizes that are going to be given to other contestants. And you guys get to vote who wins that $300 gift card. So I think you guys should definitely come. A lot of different acts and it will be fun. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Senator Al-Harbi, I believe.
Yes.
Yes, awesome. I'm trying to get the names, but Senator Dustin.
Yeah, so first of all, I want to say congratulations to the new senators. Like, it's not a semester yet. I was trying to figure out if it has been one semester. 3 months ago, I was like in your capacity as a new senator. I just came, transferred to this university, and then I got this opportunity to serve. So I know how overwhelming it can be. I know how confused you can be the first time, just seeing people not getting to know what's going on. But I just want to encourage you that you got this, and we are here to work together as a team. And just to encourage you, hopefully you guys have been added to teams. We have a lot of documents there. You can make use of that. There are a lot of transitional reports from previous senators that have served in your capacity. So you can read that to get to know what they were working on and see if you can pick it up from there, or you want to start something new. There are a lot of projects that we have in mind. Personally, I have a bunch of projects, so if you guys are confused about what projects look like and you want to get started with something, you can reach out to me or other senators and we can all work together. So thank you, and hope we can have a good time.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Senator Dustin. Do we have any other announcements? I see one from our advisor, Evie Ming.
All right, as everyone, I'm just going to keep echoing this congratulations chain here. So it's very exciting to be a senator, and this is a really exciting opportunity for each of you to grow as individual leaders, but also as a group. One thing I do want to encourage you, though, as we go into finals, I'm going to put my, like, I'm not actually a mom, but I'm going to put a mom hat on for a second. Please get some sleep and drink some water and eat healthy. I know this is a really stressful upcoming couple of weeks, but if we take the time to just kind of like stop and take a deep breath, the next couple of weeks will go by, or week and a half will go by very smoothly, and then you'll head into summer, and then you'll be back in the fall to do wonderful things as the Senate. So, again, congratulations. Take some time over the last couple of weeks, and hopefully it gets nice so you can enjoy some time outside. But yeah. Looking forward to working with y'all, and yeah.
Let's see. Do we have any other announcements? All right. It looks like we do not have any other announcements. So, oh, I see one from Senator Roberts.
Oh, I was just going to motion to waive the roll call.
All right, we have a motion to waive the roll call and a second. I'll explain what that means. Any part of this agenda can be motioned to be waived at any point. They're simply motioning that we do not do the roll call this time, which has been seconded. So I will now ask if there's anyone who is opposed to waiving the roll call. Any dissent? Seeing no dissent, I assume unanimous consent. Roll call is waived. which means that, oh, I gabbled too soon. Sorry, I was gabbling for the roll call being waived, not for the adjournment. I'm sorry, that's confusing. That's on me. But I will now adjourn us at, what time is it? 6:02 p.m. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Now I'm scared. Go to the cracker caramel. Cracker caramel.
Like 2 hours.
Thank you very much.